Hello.
Welcome back to Immersion, and today we are going to be testing our bigger wicks.
That's right. So in our last video, we had some problems with hang up on these two candles, coconut and lime and honey tobacco. What's hang up?
Where the bit stays around.
Yeah, so that's when the candle doesn't quite burn all the way to the edge. So it's a bit like tunneling, but not as thick as a tunnel. It's literally just right on the edge of the tin. There's some wax, and we don't want that because it's a waste, not only of wax and the materials, but when people buy the candles, they're not going to get their money's worth if the stuff around the edge doesn't get burnt. So we usually use CL8 wicks in this 100 gram candle with RCX wax, but it didn't quite work for the last when we tested them. It smelt good, but so there was hot throw, but we had to hang up, and we don't want to hang up. So we made fresh candles with the next size up, which is CL10. There's no CL9, well, not that I know of, but we had to jump to CL10. So we're gonna light them today and find out how they get on, because these were made on the 7th of February and it's now the 3rd of March, so we need to get back on the wagon, Imogen, because we're falling a bit behind. So we started if we're first meeting, we started our candle journey or candle business journey in May 2025, and it's now March 2026, so almost a year. We've had some success, but we do this around, obviously, like school, work, everything else, so it's kind of a longer project, but it would be good, I think, for this candle season later this year in 2026 now, to get a bit of momentum going, right? So the first thing we need to do is record all our parameters. So I'll show you maybe this sheet on screen, but it's got things like our candle supply name for the fragrance oil, the wax, the wick, and the tests. So it's really important to record every single test. So it's the 3rd of March. Do you want to weigh which one are you going to do? Honey tobacco?
Yeah.
Let me so you need to put it on first.
It says hello.
It says hello. What's that? 120.33.
Yeah.
And we record the cold throw. So what's your cold throw out of 10? Your score? How do you score that?
9.5.
9.5. These are really strong, much stronger than the last ones we made. And the only difference is we didn't keep the wax at 60 degrees while we were stirring in the fragrance oil and mixing. We just got it up to temperature, whacked in the oil. And what was the other thing we did differently? Do you remember? No. It's been nearly a month, remember. We also only stirred for a minute because, these aren't Candle Shack's oils, but it's their wax, and their recipes say it's just stir for a minute. So we just did a minute. So maybe that will help with our cold throw. And it's also been curing for a long, long time with the lid on. So that's probably helping as well. What's that one? Coconut and lime. And if you could weigh that one, please.
120.71.
120.71. And what is your cold throw rating, please? Let me smell.
You can decide on that. I don't really know.
I think 9. I think 10 is really strong, but I think 10, we've got to keep 10 for that extra. Because if you say this is 10, I mean, that one is, you're already nearly at 10, but I think you do need to keep 10 for when it's really super, super strong, but that is really good. So what did I say? A 9 cold throw. So we're going to light these. So it's 15:55. So do you want to set them going? And I'd be very interested to see how they work. What's your prediction?
That they will work.
So you mean there's not going to be any hang up?
Yeah.
Okay. I think the wick's all right. I trimmed it kind of to the right length down. That's it. It's going. Actually, I think because these are thicker wicks, they take a bit more. Maybe we can just use matches.
I don't like matches.
I don't like matches on the top. So we're gonna. Which one are you gonna have in with you? Coconut or honey?
Honey.
Honey, yeah. So we're going to put them in 2 different rooms. Could put one in the kitchen, one in the living room. And we will see you in, I don't know, about an hour. And we'll see how they're going. Oh, I can already, can you smell that?
Yeah, but I can smell them like mixed together.
Yeah. Oh, because they are mixed together. So yeah, we'll check back in a little while once they've had the time to get going. We are about an hour in, and this is the coconut and lime, and there's pretty decent hot flow. I do have the window cracked open in the kitchen, and I think the air movement's helping disperse the scent, but that's really good. And that's a decent strong flame. I think before we had what I call a feeble flame, where it's kind of not really kind of taking part, kind of sort of half-hearted attempt, but this is a nice strong flame so far, and we're about under a centimetre away from the edge of the tin. So I think after another hour or 2, hopefully we'll reach there. All right, Imogen, so how are you rating your honey tobacco candle?
Like 9.5, like before.
Like the hot fro, it's really good. So here it is. Let me reduce the... There we go, so you can see the flame better. This one, it's not quite centred. I think we've got the wick a bit off centre, and you can see the melt pool is... One side's still got about, what would you say?
2 centimetres?
Less than 2, but about half an inch maybe. And what did you say when you lit it? What did you say about the flame?
It was very big.
Yeah, so it's a nice strong flame again. It's not too big, but I think just having a proper size flame helps with the hot fray, doesn't it? And we will give it another hour, burn it for at least 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And see how we get on. It's now been just over 3 hours, so time to end the first burn test. But before we do, just let you see, honey tobacco is on the left, and it's got very little, it's got a very small amount of wax left around the edge, and coconut and lime on the right has a bit more, maybe about 4 millimeters. Actually, it depends. I mean, I think because the wick's a bit uneven to one side, it's pretty much melted to the edge of the tin already. But for the first burn, this is considered okay, because on subsequent burns, as the flame gets lower in the tin, in the container or your vessel, it's a bit hotter, and you usually find, if you don't get hung up, that the wax that's on the edge of your container will fall in and melt and burn no problem. So there we go. In answer to the question, if wicking up solves the problem of hang up, it certainly does. And the benefit of the hotter flame is we've got amazing hot throw. I think better actually than the CL8, the smaller wick. It's better hot throw, and just the extra heat has helped with the scent dispersal. And the flame, I think, honey tobacco is a bit on the bigger side, but I don't know, I think it's still okay. There's a tiny bit of smoke as I disturb the flame with my talking. But we'll see. It's got to be a balance, I suppose, of actually melting the wax and hot throw and having a safe candle and longevity as well. We'll have to add up all the burn hours and see how, if we get a long enough burn time for this little candle. And what else? Oh yeah, you can see there's no mushrooming, so that means that the wax and the fragrance oil has been burnt off properly and not accumulating a big mushroom on the end. Which brings me on to the next video. We actually have a candle, I don't know if it's rose, it might be rose, that has a massive mushroom. So I might try 2 different things. We can try a Stabilo wick of the size 8, and also maybe a CL10 to see if wicking up helps avoid a massive mushroom. And that's about it for now. As usual, any questions or comments, do feel free to ask away and we'll get back to you. Do consider liking and subscribing. Here's a few other videos that you might enjoy. And yeah, we'll see you next time.